We're back to discuss Anomalisa, and if you watched our review, we both really liked it. Talking about spoiler stuff, I didn't want to say much more than the basic premise, which I did know before going into the movie, which is that everyone has the same voice except Lisa. I didn't realize that once he met Lisa, and they kind of... Like, the whole movie really takes place in, 12 hours, maybe?
Yeah.
It's a very short period of time. Basically, he checks into a hotel at 9 o'clock, and he meets her, and they end up in bed together, and then they end up separating in the morning, basically.
After his little morning conference.
Yeah, and it's interesting, it makes sense to me now why he started hearing the other voice with her voice. And then you see her, writing the letter to him, and it's all her voice again. It's like he's the one projecting the voice. He's the one giving the voice to everybody. So it's really more of his issue than anything else. And it's sort of... It kind of shows his... It's like a projected infatuation that he has with her versus she's actually the only person in the world with a different voice. And that also explains why he's the only one that can hear the difference. Otherwise everybody else would be like, this is so weird. You and her are the only ones that have voices that sound different than everyone else. All the women have the same male voice that they talk with.
Yeah, I thought about it when I first saw a small trailer that didn't really explain anything about the movie. I noticed that all the characters had the same face except for him.
Mm-hmm.
And they all sounded the same. And I thought that was weird, but I thought maybe it was something to do with a budget issue.
Yeah.
But as the movie started to unfold, that scene where he starts to see her with the same face as everybody else, starts to hear her with the same voice as everybody else, you could kind of interpret it a bunch of different ways. You were talking about him stripping her of her individuality by stop doing this, do this instead, but also you could view it as once he had her,
right,
it lost its luster.
That's exactly what I was saying. He had an infatuation with her, and so he was projecting individuality onto her. But once that infatuation started to fade, so did her. So did the attraction. So did the infatuation, and so did the voice. She just became another boring, same voiced character.
I really thought the movie was going to be something like Ex Machina, because in the trailer you see him pull off his face and
yeah, and that happens
things.
in a dream sequence though. Yeah.
So I had no clue that the movie was going to be this deep, and I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't recognize the name Charlie Kaufman, but
I know there were some people that really felt awkward about the sex scene in the movie. I guess because it just goes on really long and it's
not something you expect to see in stop motion.
Yeah, it's much more graphic than you expect. But I thought they set it up really well. I thought it really worked. They set it up by showing him getting out of the shower and oh, he's all there. It's...
Well, not just that. It wasn't just thrown in for raunch. It was very intimate, and you got to know a little bit about the characters in that scene.
I think some people felt... I think there were some people who were just shocked that it was there because it was an animated film and they didn't expect it to be there. And I think there's also people that were... that felt a bit awkward, like he was preying on her, seducing her, or something along those lines. And I didn't really feel like that.
I guess I could see it because he does look older than her quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But as ages are never really established, I didn't feel that way.
Well, and she says something about the last guy that she dated was like the last guy that she slept with was like in his 60s or something, and you know, much older than the guy that she's with now. So, but no, I mean, I don't feel like that was wrong. I feel like if you went to this movie and I don't know, if you just expected it to be R-rated for language or something like that, I guess you could feel awkward about that part of it, but I didn't. I thought it was really interesting. I could tell some of the people around me were a little like just slightly embarrassed, you know, for it, but that's the puritanical society that we live in.
I didn't see it coming. Like I thought that, okay, well now they're moving over to the bed. The camera's going to pan off because America.
Yeah,
and it didn't. It didn't at all.
yeah,
So I was kind of like, oh well, they're going full Monty with
yeah.
this.
I also like that they didn't belabor the ending. Like they got right to it in the morning. That, you know, he was already losing it, and the ending is just them like kind of alone and thinking about each other, and that's about it.
Yeah. The story, it really doesn't linger at all because, gosh, how long was the movie?
I don't know.
Like, not. I know it didn't feel very long at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was kind of shocked when the credits started to roll. I'm like, wow, really? But no scene really went on too long.
Right.
It was just bam, right to the next scene, and you get a full story in such a short amount of time, and it's so beautiful and moving and thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Gosh, I kind of want to watch it again, see if I pick up something else different from it.
Like I said, I've been looking forward to it all year. I really expected a lot from it, and I was very happy with what I got. I really enjoyed the movie. So yeah, that's Anomalisa. If you like the way we do these, please like the video, subscribe, check out all the written and video reviews at DaleMaxfield.com, and thanks for watching.